Red Bull is playing a very dangerous game by boycotting Sky Sports in their most recent move. I know things are good now and they've made up and they've, kissed behind the scenes and said, oh, I'm okay with you, you're okay with me. But I think it's absolute bull that they actually boycotted Sky Sports in the first place. Ted Kravitz had absolute right to say what his view was as a reporter, and they, as I said in the very beginning, Red Bull are playing a very dangerous game by trying to exclusively control the narrative and say that this is unacceptable. We are going to boycott you because we don't like what you said. Shut up, you crybabies. This is BS. You guys need to get your S together. And I'm going to hold my tongue because we're in the first 30 seconds or first minutes of the video. But man, I am so I wanted to put out a video about this earlier, but I said, you know what? I'm going to compose my views. And guess what? I'm still pissed off about this, Joe. What are your thoughts on this whole Red Bull boycotting Sky Sports issue?
I mean, I get what both side is talking about. Where as a viewer, of course, being a journalist, you want your story to be impactful. You want your story to be effective, and you want to have a dramatic storyline, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that, and on Red Bull side, I also got that they don't want this type of stuff because some of them is not true from what they see, from what they have been teaching, right? And so, for me, I'm with Sherif in some parts. I mean, almost almost the whole part, because when Red Bull is doing all this Boy Scout, Sherif says perfectly. He said that when a person start doing Boy Scouting, and when the person start to ignore and say, "Oh, you're doing this wrong. We don't want to give you any opinion," that means they are starting to protect themselves.
Exactly.
What they are doing wrong.
Exactly.
And if they keep on doing this, the press is just gonna keep on coming back on them. So this is not going to be. It's not gonna end well for both of them.
Dude, no, I agree. I see. My issue is it's first of all, it's a power move, right? To say that oh, we are one of the biggest teams. We are the big story right now. We're not going to engage with you because one person on their entire staff said something publicly against them. I think that, and it wasn't even Ted Kravitz did this entire sensational story. He didn't create a narrative. He wasn't trying to do this whole, expose on why he thinks that, Hamilton was robbed last season. But no, he made one comment in passing, right? And mind you, Will Bruxton works for Sky Sports. And Will Bruxton literally has knee pads that say Verstappen on him because he's always basically sucking Verstappen off at every opportunity.
Basically.
Right? So for them to boycott an entire news organization is a power move. So they're trying to control the narrative, right? B, it's completely unfair because it's trying to curtail free speech and free opinions being expressed on a public broadcast network. C, in my point of view, the people who speak the loudest have the most blame, right? When you're trying to completely shut out a news network because they said one negative thing about you, that means that you have built a house of cards and you're afraid of somebody poking holes and digging into that, And four, it is, in my opinion, completely inappropriate. I don't know if four is really the best, most valid point, But because of 1, 2, and 3, like, we can't be giving these teams the ability. And here's the thing. Here's the most important thing. I don't care if it was Mercedes, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Renault, Williams, any team that pulled a move like this, I would come down hard on them. Because this is BS. It's not like they did a Drive to Survive, scripted storyline.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was
let's
literally
not go in that. Let's not mention it. That
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a comment in passing,
it's terrible
from the views of one particular reporter, right? And that's it. And they boycotted them. Like, really? Come on, you guys. Like, do better. Be better.
It's like it's. I mean, how should I put this? They are doing it wrong. Basically, Redbull is doing it wrong because, and the reporter is not wrong. Like,
no, absolutely not.
Like, Lewis Hamilton is robbed, and then the whole thing is scripted from the last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when the race started, whichever race started the whole thing, but basically, based on that point on, the whole thing is dropped, the whole thing is scripted. And why can't we speak the truth?
Thank you.
And why do we have to cover up for them?
And the truth is this. Okay, first, before we go on, right? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm really curious about where you guys are sitting on this issue, or I mean, have you already gone past it? Because I personally haven't, right? So let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe the video. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers and all of that good stuff by the end of the year. So it means the world to us. But here's the thing, right? Like, Red Bull, in my view, has no excuse, okay? Last year, controversy over the entire finish of the season and Michael Massey, right? This year, controversy by going over the cost cap spending, and by gaining an unfair advantage. No matter how you slice it, it was an unfair advantage. So much so that you heard Zach Brown, Mattia Binotto, and several others, not just Mercedes, speaking out about the concerns over going the cost cap, right? So now Red Bull turns around and wants to make a big deal of this guy pointing out that there was controversy over last season's call. Like, screw you. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is truth. It is true. Whether you want to accept it or not, it is true that it's controversy and no one is gonna accept it. So it's good that you guys win, that Max win this season, because he's win under clean race.
Yeah.
Last season it's not. Last season it's not. It's a fake race, a fake championship. I'm just gonna bring it out there. It's a fake championship. It's like, again, our friend throw his phone in a TV. That's how fake it is. So whatever you want to, however you want to accept it, you have to accept that it's a fake championship. It's a fake season, and
people are gonna keep saying that.
Yeah, and then that's gonna just overshadow the whole thing, whether you like it or not.
Right.
And the reporter is not wrong. He's just telling the truth. He's just telling the fact that he's just telling the truth that he wants the truth to be told and to hear by the fans, by people like us.
Yeah.
He wants the truth to be out there. And what's wrong with that?
Exactly.
Right?
And that's the thing. And it's it's his truth, right? It was his honest to God opinion, right? If you were to ask Will Bruxton about it, he would say, no, that everything was okay, right? So,
and can we, it's like, okay, if we put it, if we are in his shoes, if we are in Ripple's shoes, if we're what's his name?
Will?
The guy,
Will Bruxton? Yeah.
Will Bruxton, if he said this, are they going to defend him or offend him? I don't
Right,
think so.
right. Exactly.
It's
And
just
that's my point.
yeah,
It's selective. It's
yeah,
completely
it's selected.
selective.
Yeah, if it's him saying it, then they will not say anything. If he's
Yeah.
can we say, oh, he's wrong, right? It's not, it doesn't work like that. So it's selected, like Sherif was saying, it's selected.
See, I guess, I don't know. Maybe being a very big, like, I'm an American, right? I'm a big free speech advocate, you know? Like, I may disagree with what you have to say, but I will forever defend your right to say it, you know? And there are plenty of people who, you know, say things that I disagree with, but it's, as long as it's not hate speech, I will defend it, you know, because you should absolutely have the right. And that's maybe why I have such a strong response to this whole situation, you know, because really in a world and a time where we have these persistent narratives where, you know, corporations and organizations constantly try to twist the truth, right? We have scripted series trying to tell us how things are going when they're actually not going that way. You know what I mean? And we have this looming threat of like fake news and fake reporting constantly going, right? When one guy just expresses his opinion as a reporter, as a liaison to the public, and for him to be punished for that, that is wholly unacceptable in my book. Completely unacceptable. And I think that Red Bull needs to get their ass checked for that behavior. This should not be permitted. This should not be allowed within the FIA guidelines, to be 100% honest, right? Like, Max Verstappen came out and he said, oh, there's all this vile vitriol and negativity on social media, and for him to bring that into the discussion and not to be better, like, screw you. Like, people have their opinion, and whether it's positive or negative, right? Christian Horner says it all the time about F1, right? If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Right? So why does that rule not, like, why does that not apply to Red Bull? If they can't take the negativity, get out of the kitchen. Like, come on.
Because Red Bull is, I feel like Red Bull, especially these 2 years, Red Bull is becoming FIA's favorite team on the grid. FIA will do whatever it can to protect them.
It feels that way.
Just look at that budget cap and also this press thingy.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know, man. Like, for me, I'm not as hardcore as Sherif is, but for me, it's all about telling the truth.
Exactly.
Logic and truth. If your story is the truth, and if your story is logical, then you gotta it's gotta be out there. It's gotta be out there, and like, one more thing that I have to say it. I just have to say it. Like, Max, he complained about all these situations that is covering up, like we said. Like, he say, people are disrespectful of his race, his championship. Mm-hmm. And of course, people is disrespectful of the championship because you guys cheated. And
right,
that's
human error. Human error champion. Like, come on.
Yeah. How can we respect a cheating team?
Yeah. Exactly. And to combine that with the cost cap, right? Like, it throws it projects a looming cloud of negativity and doubt over their actions. Yeah. And for them to say, oh, no, you can't talk about that. Like, come on. Like, really, no. Let's be honest about the vitriol and hate that you guys have been getting, okay? Let's talk about for a second about how Lewis Hamilton has been receiving racist and hate comments for the entirety of his career from when he was a karting kid. you know?
And some of those people are from Redbull talking about it. For example, your favorite...
Helmet Marko. Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, Helmet Marko's been racist against fucking Sergio Perez, for God's sakes. But this is what I'm saying, right? Like, you know, for you to compare and even say that, like, the amount of negativity, you being Red Bull and Verstappen, you know, have been receiving all of this hate and you guys are sensitive to it. This is the straw that broke the camel's back, quote unquote, as they put it in the press. Like, no. Come on. Grow up. Be adults, be professionals in the space. It's part with the territory, right? You do not get to control the discussion just because you don't like what's being discussed. Period. Like, and that's all I have to say on it, honestly.
For me, I don't have anything to say other than just see the truth and see what's logical and decide yourself if you're gonna trust whoever it is out there that is writing the story. But I'm pretty sure you know the truth.
All right, you guys, that's it from us. Peace.
Bye-bye.